Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It is Friday. You know what that means. We are back with another edition of our favorite segment, Ask the Sheriff. The law enforcement rock star, the man himself, Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson is joining us now this morning. Sheriff Swanson, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back.
Of course.
Welcome, everybody.
It's our best part of the day on Fridays. Okay, so this time around, we are talking about severe weather. We had some severe weather recently, from tornadoes to strong storms. What kind of problems have you seen as a result of this weather, Sheriff?
Well, it's not just here, but it's, anytime you experience severe weather, and in this community, we get more violent thunderstorms and rain. Obviously, we have tornado-type conditions, but I'm telling you, when a severe storm blows through, that freaks everybody out, and rightly so. When this last round happened, my wife was with a friend at a greenhouse, and they were in this greenhouse, which is made of plastic and metal, and it was just whipping through there. The doors and all that was flopping. She was freaked out, and she called me, and I'm like, just try to find a place that's a little bit more secure. She couldn't go out, and you're talking people that have lived Michigan weather, whether it's snow and ice. But I'm telling you, violent storms are the ones that we got to watch out for. We saw a big round of those all over mid-Michigan. We did have some flooding, but not like they did down in Detroit. But you know what I was thankful for is all those sirens kicked off.
Yes.
They gave people plenty of notice to be aware. And that's the key. These are unforgiving circumstances, and they can change by the second. So be aware of it and take action.
Sheriff, your wife's okay, is she? Yes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
and
good.
she got some sweet plans. So
sweet. She's awesome, too.
Guy, all right? I love greens.
Oh, my gosh. Something else we just found out about the sheriff. He's a plant guy. Okay, so, Sheriff, what mistake do people make when this weather hits and it gets really bad out there? What do they do that's wrong?
The number one mistake is they don't think it's going to be as bad as it's been told. That's the key, is we underestimate the power of the storms. We underestimate the power of rain, the power of wind. And don't think that for a second trees and other objects that are blown by the wind aren't weapons. We've seen that in the past, even in other places around us where tree branches have fallen on people. You got to take cover for a reason. If you look at like a storm surge, a lot of that happens and then you can go back to normal life. But don't just assume that it's not going to happen. And flying debris and trees that could tip over, always be aware of that. That's the number one thing. We underestimate the power of those storms. So
what would you say the last minute tips that we should do when severe weather hits? We need to do what?
So I can tell you personally, if I'm on the road and I can't get off on an exit, I hit my hazard lights and I go to the far right lane. I pull over. Hazard lights, you'll see, just test this. The next time you're driving, especially on the expressway, and you're in a rainstorm, get your hazard lights and you'll see other people follow. And all it does is alert folks that, okay, something's going on. And what we're seeing is water collect, in low spots underneath the overpasses. Be careful that you're not stuck in there and you find yourself trapped. At that point, there could be a serious situation.
Yes.
You have people in the car, can't swim. Be aware of that. But also when you're in your house, there's times to look up and see how close the storm is, but trust Channel 5 weather.
Yes.
Trust upper radar. That is the second by second play of what the weather is doing. And that's why you should always tune into your local weather station. I tell people, being aware and taking action, that's the key. But if you're not aware, you don't take action, that's where you get caught.
That's great advice. Thank you, Sheriff, for that. Okay, our last final question. I had a viewer call me and tell me that she just thinks you are amazing. She loves the segment. She does not miss it. On Fridays, her name is Marianne Vackus, and she left me a message, and I talked with her. I called her back, and she said, Colette, do you know this? Sheriff, you were in a calendar as the Officer of the Month for the National Law Enforcement Officers. Oh, my gosh, tell us about that. You're a calendar person. Oh my gosh, a model. Tell us.
I'm very humble. First of all, to my fan, Marianne Backus, I'm going to ask to get your address when we're off camera, because I'm going to send you a little bit of a love on a card. So
she's
thank you, Marianne, for being such a huge fan. Make sure I get that information, and I'm going to personally write her. But yeah, I'm very humbled. Last year, I was recognized as Officer of the Month for May in the entire nation. and it was through the National Police Officer Memorial Museum in D.C. Very humbling, and I accept on behalf of everybody who walked with us and who carried the story. But then I'm going to throw back some edification to you.
Yes.
Channel 5 was with me the whole time, and you, and I've said before, the media can use the very powerful platform to give that message. And that's what was received. It was a message of hope, and I was just so thankful. So yes, they did a calendar, and yes, I'm on there, and the White House is the background, and it was really cool. And maybe I'll even, when I come up and do a live taping, I'll give you a copy of the calendar.
And it's not just last month. You were on this for June, too, not just last year. So, I mean, you're just over and over all of these great honors and accolades. Congratulations for that.
For the record, I know people think it was a very professional calendar. I don't want people to go and start assuming things about Swanson.
That's all right. Start trying to find it online. Thank you again. We appreciate you, Sheriff Swanson, coming by and stopping by.
Thank you so much. We love you guys. Have a great Friday and be safe during this weather cycle that we're in.
You as well. Happy Friday. Now it is your turn. If you have a burning question for the sheriff, send it to WNEM at WNEM.com or send it to our social media.